Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a huge pharmaceutical deal. We're talking about a drug so popular, the world is literally running out of it. A wild, nine-way corporate showdown and a super clever strategy that might just rewrite the rules for selling blockbuster drugs everywhere. You know, this wasn't just some standard business deal. This was an all-out race. 9 companies, all scrambling for a piece of the pie. This quote from one of the key players really tells you everything you need to know about the high-stakes battle we're about to get into. So this brings up some huge questions, right? What exactly is this drug that has everyone so worked up? Who are the big names involved? And why was this one partnership so important that everyone was fighting for it? Let's unpack the incredible strategy behind it all. Okay, so to really get why 9 different companies were in this race, you first have to understand the prize they were all chasing, and that prize is a drug called semaglutide. All right, let's get a little technical for a second. Its official name is a GLP-1 receptor agonist, but what that really means in simple terms is that it copies a hormone that does 2 amazing things. It helps control your appetite, and it regulates your blood sugar. That 1-2 punch is what makes it such a game changer. But let's be real, you probably don't know it as semaglutide. You almost certainly know it by its much more famous brand names. On one side, you've got Ozempic, which is mainly for type 2 diabetes, and on the other, there's Wegovy, which is approved specifically for weight management. It's the same core drug, just 2 different blockbuster brands. And the impact has been, well, absolutely explosive. The global demand became so huge that it created a massive problem for the company that makes it, Novo Nordisk. They just couldn't make it fast enough. And that led to shortages all over the world, with patients and doctors left scrambling. And that incredible problem, having a product that's too successful, brings us right back to the race we started with. How do you solve a global shortage and grow your market at the same time? Well, you find a partner. And we're not talking about a small field of players here. As we heard in that opening quote, there were 9 different companies. We're talking big Indian firms and major multinational corporations, all competing for this one strategic deal with Novo Nordisk. So, here's the million-dollar question. In such a crowded race, what makes one company stand out? What was the secret sauce that the winner had that the other 8 were missing? And the winner of this intense competition was the Indian-based company Emcure Pharmaceuticals. They managed to beat out 8 other major contenders to lock down this incredible deal. So how'd they pull it off? According to their own CEO, it wasn't just one thing. It was a perfect combination of factors. A flawless track record on quality, a super reliable supply chain, a deep, deep understanding of the Indian market, and maybe the most important piece of all, a long relationship with Novo Nordisk that was built on years and years of trust. Now, this next part is really important to understand. Emcure isn't going to be making the active drug from scratch. Novo Nordisk is still going to supply the core ingredient. Emcure's job is what's known in the industry as fill and finish. Basically, they're the ones putting the drug into injection pens and getting it all packaged up for sale. They're a partner, not a rival. Okay, this is where we get to pull back the curtain and see the real master plan. Because this deal isn't just about fixing shortages. It's a much, much more clever business strategy than that. I mean, think about it for a second. It seems kind of strange, right? Why would a company that owns a multi-billion-dollar drug actively help another company launch what is basically a competing brand? Well, it's because they're playing the long game. It's a classic 2-pronged attack. Here's how it works. First, Novo Nordisk keeps selling its main brand, Wegovy, at the top of the market for a premium price. At the same time, Emcure launches a totally separate new brand to reach a much wider group of people. This expands the entire market, and this is the key. It builds up a massive, loyal customer base before the drug's patent expires and cheap generic versions flood in. It's both offense and defense all at once. So let's zoom out. What does all of this mean for the future? Well, this deal is a huge signpost for a massive shift that's happening in the global drug market, especially for these kinds of game-changing lifestyle drugs. Just look at the numbers in one country, India. Right now, the anti-obesity market there is worth about 4 billion rupees, but it's projected to triple in just the next 3 to 4 years. This partnership puts both of these companies in the perfect position to just dominate that explosive growth. And things are moving really, really fast. The premium brand showed up in 2022, the big partnership was just announced in 2024, and that new second brand from Emcure, it's expected to hit the market in 2026. All the pieces are falling right into place. So here's the big takeaway from all this. This deal is about way more than just one drug. It's a potential blueprint for the entire industry. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. As more of these so-called miracle drugs are created, is this kind of strategic partnership going to be the new normal for getting them to people all across the globe?